Hi, everybody. This is the Baseball Hut, the amazing, spectacular, terrific, the great one, the People's Champion. Your host, the Hut. We're back here at the Baseball Hut 2, and we're going to talk about the National League Central. And what we're going to talk about is two teams in particular. One is going to be a buyer, one's going to be a seller. And if you saw the Cardinals and the Pirates, and if you thought that the Pirates were going to be selling and the Cardinals were going to be buying, you lost. You followed the old Warner Wolf here in New York, but Warner Wolf didn't know if he had money on any of these teams. He probably lost more money than Pete Rose did, or continues to lose. So it seems that the Pirates are kind of like in contention, but they might be buyers. I'm gonna read you a couple of things. BucksDugout.com. I know. If you follow on this channel, this is the kind of stuff you want to read. Exploring Pirates options as buyers at the MLB trade deadline. And it's written by It doesn't matter. With a month to go before the August 1st MLB trade deadline, which is at 6 p.m., and you'll be able to follow it here on the Baseball Hut too. The Pirates are 5.5 games out of first place in NL Central and 5 games under 500. The Pirates expressed interest in adding at the deadline this year, despite their slide to 39-44. The division could very well be a race to 500, so even a minor add in a key spot could make a difference. It's unlikely they will add positionally, I'll say it right. With O'Neill Cruz projected to return sometime in August, the infield's future looks fairly crowded. The one spot could add here is by picking up a center fielder. Manned mostly by Jack Suwinski and Ji Wang Bei. I hope I said his name right. They haven't had a true option there this year. Neither the ever-controversial Suwinski nor Bay have been catastrophic defensively, but neither looked refined in center. Let me skip to the chase. Someone like the right-handed Victor Robles of the Nationals, a free agent after the 2024 season, could be an option for a platoon with Suwinski. Right-handed, like right-handed hitting. I didn't write this. It's not me, folks. That's probably why I'm not reading it properly, because it's not written properly. That's what happens when you go on these different blogs. You never know what the hell you're dealing with. That's why it doesn't matter who wrote it. But sometimes it does matter who wrote it, because then, whatever. They could get Victor Robles, a free agent after the 2024 season. Could be an option for a platoon with Suwinski and to serve as defensive replacement. But defensively great center fielder was recently placed on the 10-day IL with the same back spasm issue that limited him to playing in just 36 games this season. With Henry Davis poised to play right field every day for now, that leaves only center field available to Suwinski when Brian Reynolds returns from his IL stint. Considering how much the team has let Jack see the field against lefty this season, it's unclear how willing they would be to trade for a platoon option here. However, adding even a mediocre true center fielder who's right-handed, optioning Bay, optioning Josh Palacios, and calling up a red-hot Leovar Pugaro, should he continue to produce the deadline, would go a substantial way towards the roster construction making more sense, as well as putting Suwinski, who struggles against lefties, in a better position to succeed. The much more likely place for the Pirates to add would be to the pitching staff. The rotation lacks the depth it had going into the season. The bullpen has several spots that could stand to be improved. Luckily, middle relief arms on the trade block are always plentiful and relatively inexpensive to acquire. Even when the bullpen was pitching well, the Pirates had just an awful time filling at least 3 spots at any given time. Trying and mostly failing to fill bullpen roles with pitchers like Dwayne Underwood Jr., Chase DeJong, Rob Sadrinsky, and Cody Bolton. It might also be optimistic to hope you can continue to get what you have out of lefty Angel Perdomo. So it's an optimistic to significantly improve the roster, even with just minor middle relief additions. The Pirates could look to acquire a swingman or at least someone with some experience starting in MLB and kill 2 birds with 1 stone. The Padres' Nick Martinez could be an interesting trade candidate if the Friars decide to sell. We'll see about the Padres. There's Nationals reliever Hunter Harvey and veteran Carl Edwards Jr. needs to have a sandwich. Somebody get that guy a sandwich. In his 9th season. The hard-throwing Harvey, what kind of name is Harvey? Who has posted an ERA of 3.25 with 7 saves, will be more of a long-term add, moving into his first arbitration-eligible season in 2024. As you know, Hunter Harvey is the son of Brian Harvey, the closer, the former closer of the Angels, California Angels. With the time frame for Jarlin Garcia's return still up in the air, Athletics lefty Sam Moll, the Pirates could also pursue a reunion with Chris Stratton, a free agent at the end of the season, who they traded to the current last-place Cardinals last season as part of the deal that sent Jose Quintana to the Redbirds and brought back Johan Oviedo. Well, this is interesting about the Pirates. The Pirates are in a weird position because, like the article said, they're 5 games under 500, they're 5 games back in the division, but they're 5 games back in the division. This is not a great division, and it's a young division because they're a young team. The Reds are a young team. So those teams, and also the Cubs are kind of on the outside looking in, and the Cardinals, who the hell knows what's going on with the Cardinals, which is funny. You should mention that. From SI.com, 2 Cardinals hurlers reported most logical trade candidates with speculation heating up. St. Louis may not look exactly the same after the 2023 MLB trade deadline. Is that true? The Cardinals may end up being one of the busiest teams ahead of the MLB trade deadline, which is on August 1st at 6 p.m. St. Louis has been a massive disappointment so far this season. As bad as the Padres have been, as bad as the New York Mets have been, the Cardinals are probably the worst team, and the biggest disappointment because they've been so good for so long. The Cardinals currently are in last place in the National League Central with an abysmal 34-48 record halfway through the season. The deadline is set to come and pass on August 1st. The club is going to have to decide what route the team will take. Will the Cardinals be buyers ahead of the deadline? Will the Cardinals sell? Will the Cardinals do some variation to the two? The jury is still out. But St. Louis will need to make a decision shortly. The club has been in trade rumors all season, and with the deadline quickly approaching, 2 players who reportedly could be on the move are starting pitchers Jack Flaherty and Jordan Montgomery. This is from the Athletics' Katie Wu. Quote, the most logical names that would follow the club to do this are Jack Flaherty and Jordan Montgomery. Both starting pitchers are set to be free agents for the first time in their careers after this season. The starting pitching market this trade deadline is scarce and will heavily favor the sellers. While Montgomery has arguably been the team's most consistent starting pitcher, there is likely no other scenario where his perceived return value would be higher. The same can be said for Flaherty, who has had an inconsistent first half, but in his good starts has still shown the ability to be an impactful piece of a contending rotation. This is perhaps the one area of the trade deadline where the advantage favors the Cardinals. Both Montgomery and Flaherty have found their names in trade rooms at different times so far this season. Montgomery's pitched to a 3.52 ERA and 16 starts, and Flaherty has a 4.60 ERA in the same amount of starts. St. Louis's rotation has given the club struggles all season, but Montgomery and Flaherty have been bright spots at times. At this point, there's no way for sure to know what the Cardinals will do, but Montgomery and Flaherty may not be on the team by the time August rolls around. They might be gone no matter what. I don't expect the Cardinals to contend. They've been so bad, I'd be shocked if they did, but it's not a good division. This is the second worst division in baseball behind the American League Central. It might take 85 wins to win this division, and the team that finishes second is not going to be anywhere near the wild card. The wild card teams are going to come from the East, the Marlins, possibly the Phillies come back, or the West most likely with the Padres, well not the Padres, but the Giants, and with the Dodgers/Diamondbacks. So the Cardinals have one way to get in, and the Pirates have one way to get in, and that's through the division. If they don't win the division, they're not getting in. So like I said, it'll probably take 85 wins. This might be the second lowest win total for any division winner in the history of baseball. As you know, the lowest is the 73 Mets when they won 82 games, and to get to the World Series to go up against the A's. But again, it's a lousy division. So most of these teams have a shot, probably other than the Cardinals. And the Cardinals are in a weird spot. They got two veteran players that are probably future Hall of Famers in Nolan Arenado and with Paul Goldschmidt, and a lot of sort of question marks and some young players. It's a very strange team. They've had a terrible year. So who knows where they're going to go. And the Pirates are a young team. They might not be ready for prime time yet. They've had a good... They might trade players. There's a possibility that Andrew McCutchen could go. We'll find out. We'll find out here on the Baseball Hut too. If you subscribe. And of course, like this video. And thank you for watching. And I'll see you later.